Rafa, and Donovan.
This is The Bunt, the number one podcast in skateboarding, brought to you by the number one shoe in skateboarding, Vans.
You dig?
Off the wall since 1960, motherfucking 6. I'm D Jones. I got my main man, the Ghost, with me. We got Richie Valdez and Antoine behind the scenes.
It's a cool thing.
And Ghost, we are back. Season 23. We in the building. We definitely stuck in the building because we snowed in here in T-Dot. Been a hell of a winter, and we just got absolutely crushed last night with probably another 40, 50 centimeters. I don't even know, man. But what better time to come back to the people. Here we are, absolute banger of a season, all teed up. Ghost, tell them what we got for episode 1.
Man, massive week. Massive. Damn, I can't talk with this thing on. It was crazy cold out here, you know what I'm saying? Snowstorm vibes. We just trying to survive out here, you get me? But one of the funniest eps in recent memory, we got the triple OG legend, Tim Gavin, in the building. You know what I'm saying? I never met him, didn't know what to expect, but we got laughs for days, and now I can't wait to get out of the snowstorm, hopefully get to Cali this winter and play some golf and maybe crush a beer or 18 with the legend. You know what I'm saying? 1 per golf hole. Tim, epic interview. Thanks for pulling up. Hype for y'all to hear it. Then we take, straight to the post office. Donald's trying to spark beef in the fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Do that, bro.
Down in Denver and shit. You know what I'm saying? So tune into that.
That's
and then,
up.
oh my God, the NFL playoffs, barn burning. Championship weekend just ended. So we got a jam-packed episode for y'all.
Yeah, make sure to follow us on Instagram at The Bunt Live. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/@TheBuntLive. Hit up our Patreon, patreon.com/The Bunt. And then head over to our website, thebuntlive.com. Not sure what's going on with the shop. There might be some stuff available in there. There might not be, but every episode logged for your listening pleasure. Info on all the past Bunt jams. The Bunt Live Foundation, you name it, thebuntlive.com has it all. It's been a long off season, like we've talked about. Plenty of skating. It was SOTY season. Parts were dropping left, right, and center, and then they continued to drop in the new year. I couldn't keep up with it, and if you're anything like me, you couldn't either. But that's why we have the Ghost, the resident skate nerd, the one who takes in all the parts, all the interviews. He does the dirty work so we don't have to. It's the Ghost Shoutout of the week. Long awaited. I think it's like 9 or 10 weeks in the making. So he's probably going to talk to you about 10 to 15 parts, but bear with him. It's the Ghost Shoutout of the week.
You know what time it is, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out of the week. Man, skateboarding has always been shaped by the videos that represent it. It's how a lot of us connect to skating in the first place. Lately, videos are treated as disposable content. Algorithms decide what gets seen, and full lengths are reduced to a couple of clips in a feed. That's not how skate videos are meant to be experienced. That's why The Den was built. The Den is a skate video app curated and designed by skaters. It has a deep catalog of videos preserved in their original quality, pure vision, pure sound, exactly the way filmers intended them to be seen. From the classics to the latest releases, and a 24-hour live channel for when you just want to kick back and zone out. The Den was made so when something special comes along, it stays front and center, long after the feeds moved on. So if you care about skate videos like we do, become a member and download The Den for free on iPhone, Android, the web, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Bro, honestly, I have a list of like a gazillion parts that came out in the off season, but the one that I want to give all the love to right now, actually, let me just, because when we left it was like SOTY. I don't think it had been announced yet. I can't really remember.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Massive shout out to Zion and TJ, whose parts came out I think right after our season ended. Both SOTY worthy. So those are the homies. So proud of your guys' 2025s. You guys are SOTYs in my heart. I'll kind of trickle these out over the next couple weeks because there's so many, but definitely wanted to give a lot of love to Zion and TJ. Also, Trevor Colden, his part finally came out like a year later, but that part was flawless start to finish. Just an incredible bounce back. Go listen to his interview from last year. Fucking legend in the building, killing it all day, every day. But shout out of the week this week goes to another triple OG legend. You know what I'm saying? We talking Dark Star, we talking Battalion, we talking Sven Kilcherman. I can't remember how to pronounce it properly, but Busy Man Living, filmed and edited by our boy John Wolf. You know what I'm saying? Doing his thing in Switzerland. Just one of the most inspiring parts I'd ever seen. He just turned 43 a couple weeks ago, fun fact, Sven that is, and he put out arguably his best part to date. Most of that footage, he was 41, 42, so bro, you're a triple OG legend, absolute shredder. Might have to get him on the pod one day, who knows, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe
Sven,
one day,
wagwan, blood, switchback,
crazy.
So yeah, that's my shout out of the week. You dig?
All right. With all that being said, the ghost let you know we got a triple OG in the building. It's Tim Gavin. We've been waiting a long time for this one. Let's get into the interview, man. All right, let's get this thing popping. We got triple OG Tim Gavin in the building today. What's cracking, Tim?
I hear triple OG and I just go, yeah, you're 51 years old.
We're getting old, man. That's good.
We are getting old.
I can't stop it.
Well, you can't, but I'm like feeling old now. I get out of bed and it's like I can't even tie my shoes. I'm not kidding.
You got to move to slip-ons, dude. All right, Tim. We start every show off the same. You got to hit us with your favorite skate moment and your favorite sports moment.
Well, my fellow Canadians, I sincerely apologize. This is probably my favorite, but it's
No, don't do it.
the earliest. I know.
Don't do it, man.
But my boys have always played baseball. I've always grown up watching football. Dude, that was an insane series, though.
We outplayed you guys for 7 games.
Well, that wasn't only an insane baseball series. That was an insane sporting event, dude. Probably one of the sickest sporting events I've... Like, when it was over, I was, bummed that I had nothing to look forward to watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, the Dodgers' last World Series run was insane. Favorite skate? Probably when I did the kickflip backside nose one slide. You know, being 51 and having certain achievements or accomplishments in life, whether if it's business, anything, nothing will ever replace that feeling, you know what I mean, of doing a trick.
Yeah.
So that would probably be my most memorable skate moment.
Love that.
That's a wicked one.
Just so we're all on the same page, what are your favorite teams in each league?
Dodgers, Lakers, Dolphins, and Edmonton Oilers. I do watch hockey.
What?
Yeah,
Okay,
dude.
I'm glad I asked.
Oh, wow, that's a curveball.
They put up goals and they give up goals.
Yeah, they're exciting.
My dad was in the Air Force. So, you know, as a military child, you move around a lot because the military will relocate you. And so I was actually born in Boise, Idaho. I can't be a Boise, Idaho fan of anything. There ain't no fucking sports there. And I moved from there when I was 2 years old to Germany. There was an Air Force base in Germany. And then when I was about 4, I moved to Miami. Mm-hmm. So from about 4 to 9, I lived in Miami. But yeah, so that's why I'm a Dolphins fan. I lived there in the 80s, which were, I think, the best Dolphin years.
And then is Boise where they have that outdoor strip club, the Lumberyard? Is that in Boise? I feel like we've heard a story about that
place.
That
might be a question for Costin nowadays. You might have to run that by a good old
Ricochet, dude.
Yeah, Costin would be old.
I've been getting roasted by Costin for the last 3 weeks. It would be a good time to get him on here.
I was talking about you guys. He loves you guys, by the way.
That's awesome. He loves talking.
Yeah, he loves roasting Donald. I love it.
Yeah.
But I can feel the people tuning out one by one as we stray further and further away from skateboarding. You mentioned where you came up, but tell us how you got into skateboarding.
So when I left Miami, I moved to Arizona when I was about 11, 10 or 11. Dude, here's the other thing. My memory is fucked. So anyways, moved to Phoenix and then lived on an Air Force base. And I remember seeing these kids, and they're all skaters. They're all like, this was probably the fucking 80s. And I was like, dude, who are those dudes? Started hanging with them. Bought my first skateboard it was a Volterra Meltdown. Started skating, saw Future Primitive, the PAL video. From then on, dude, obsessed. Like, this is it. This is what I want to do. In my freshman year of high school, I was traveling back and forth to LA to hang with Guy and Rudy. I met those dudes, Gons, Jason Lee. I met them at a contest in Phoenix. And we just hit it off. I stayed at Guy's house a lot. And I was maybe 16, 15. I just told my parents I'm never coming back.
Damn.
I'm staying here. Yeah, so since I was 15 years old, I've lived in LA. I got an apartment with Chris Pastras in Hollywood. And I think I paid $300 a month to live in the dining room. Sick fucking dining room out here.
Wow. That's epic. All the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Smaller skate world back then too, so you probably all meet each other.
Oh, dude, it was so rad. I remember I was skating for 8th Street before I rode for Blind. And back in the day, you could do this thing called third-party calling, where back then it was all hardline, where everything was a landline. And if you called somebody long distance, it was extra money. So I would charge 8th Street my long distance calls to Guy because you could third-party bill it to somebody else. So I would call the operator. I want to do a third-party billing to blah, 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 blah. And I think 8th Street racked up all these bills, and they were like, dude, what is this? And I was like, I quit. I write for Blind now. Oh, my God. I think, like, Magnuson or Dave Hendrick got on the phone with my dad about, reimbursing him for these third-party billings, and it was crazy. So,
I said I actually
quit. I had a skate mentality at an early age. Let's just say that.
Jesus Christ. First big break in the skate industry. You talked about getting on 8th Street or switching on Blind, but before then, like, what was the first big break? Meeting someone, maybe?
Airborne. I rode for Airborne. Jimmy Scott. Jimmy Scott was this dude. He was a fucking roller skater, dude, and he would skate vert on roller skates. But he started a company called Airborne. So that was my first sponsor, actually. And then in Phoenix, Randy Colvin, who is probably the one dude who should have been the best skater ever. But I don't know what got in his way, but Randy Colvin and Colby Carter, me, Muska, everyone else, Ellington, we looked up to those dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about the first time you smoked weed? What's the story there?
Smoking weed? I think I lived with these surfer dudes. I did live with these surfer dudes because I moved around a lot. And they were super rad. They were just fucking straight surf kooks. And I remember trying it. I don't know why. I don't know the story there. And I didn't inhale it. I just blew it out because I was super scared. But I remember that's where I first started. A couple years later, dude, Stevie Williams came to stay with us. And, dude, the difference of cultures there was so fucking crazy. But we all came together at that little apartment with these 3 white-ass surfer dudes from fucking the Valley in LA. Stevie, Steven Calles, fucking Sheffy. I remember, like, that whole world collided, dude, and it was all about smoking weed and drinking and fucking. But yeah, that was the first memory, and it wasn't a great memory or story. It was with a bunch of surfer dudes.
So who was Sam Bowerwald?
Sam Bearwald. It's so funny, dude, because he had such a integral part of skateboarding back in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
He was just some rich-ass white dude that lived in Brentwood. Before I met him, he lived in Brentwood. Eric Dressen, he had a mini ramp, and Eric Dressen would come and skate his mini ramp a lot. So we kind of befriended each other, and he was super cool and super nice. And He was the one that ended up picking me up every Friday night at the airport when I would fly into town from Phoenix. So the routine every week, he picks me up. Right from the airport, we go to fucking Hewlett Packard, the rail at Hewlett Packard. We go to Santa Monica Beach, get the curves at night. And I would stay at Guy's house or his house for the weekend. And then Sunday night, he would drop me off. He had the house, though, you know what I mean? And he had all the good drinks and snacks and all the good food and he had a big-ass house.
But so his parents would go away on the weekends?
Yeah, they had a second house, a beach house in Santa Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
And we went up and stayed at the Powell. The Powell had a night sesh or a night jam bullshit, something rather. And we all went up there, and I met Jerron, and he was skating for Rio at the time. And he was, I looked at him like this little-ass kid, and we brought him back to that Santa Barbara beach house to stay with us. That's how Jerron got on blind. I was like, oh, this dude is sick. But I remember going to sleep that night. Like, he climbed into bed in his undies, fucking 12 years old, in his little underoos, and started sucking his thumb. Sucking his thumb, going to bed. I'm like, damn, I got to take care of this kid, dude. I just inherited a kid. So, literally, I put him on blind.
I said underoos.
He was now in the mix, staying with us at Bear Wads, and yeah.
But what was the deal with his parents saying that y'all could stay there, but you weren't allowed in their room?
Yeah, dude, we would fucking party there. Gnarly. They had to start marking their liquor bottles, you know what I mean, when they would go to Santa Barbara. Like, I remember the dad pulled the okey doke on us and marked the fucking liquor bottle and came back and asked what we drank, and we were like, nah. And he was like, well, I marked it here, and it was gone, basically. But yeah, we were all just kids, man, doing weird kid shit, like watching, just weird kid shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, we couldn't go in the mom's room. We couldn't go in the parents' room. I guess that's where they drew the line.
Yeah, but y'all did anyways.
I slept in there a few times. I mean, clearly it was the best bed in the house. They had
crazy.
A dog, and to the side of the house, it was to one of the bathrooms, they had a doggy door. And I remember partying all night, and I had nowhere to go, and I went to Sam's house. And it was too late to call, and I snuck in through the doggy door and got stuck halfway into the house from the outside in the doggy door. Literally, dude, banging. And Sam just found me at like 4 a.m. I think I just passed out halfway into the house in the doggy door.
Wow.
Oh, that's
what a sight.
I know.
That's cold.
Without Sam, dude, we wouldn't have had like a hub. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he took care of us. And the other thing too about Sam is he had the car.
He was plugged in, man. Sam had it going on.
He was the enabler for us to go to spots. You know what I mean? Skate around the city. Yeah, he had the car.
So I know we talked about it kind of in passing, but getting on 8th Street and then making the transition to blind, what was kind of going on when those two moves happened?
I guess it still happens this way. It's super organic, kind of how you get on certain teams. But I was staying at Guy's house, and Jason Lee lived really close to Guy's house. And I remember we went and skated one night, me, Jason, Guy, Rudy, a few others. And I think that's where they're like, we should talk to Mark and put Tim on the team. And but yeah, that's kind of how I got on. And me and Mark, we always got along, but I never really clicked with Mark. You know what I mean? And there was a small stint where there was a girl involved. I don't want to go there.
I love triangle.
Not really. This is let's go. Whatever.
Oh,
I never really clicked with him, dude. I did, but I didn't. But he was like my favorite skater. He's the Gons. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The first skateboard I ever had was a Mark Gonzalez, a Vision Mark Gonzalez. The classic Mark Gonzalez. But I'll tell you one thing: those blind days were the best days of my life. Seriously, I mean,
That's epic, man.
obviously you can't replace anything away from your kids and my family, but in terms of like genuine happiness, that now that I don't have that, dude, I miss it. Like those were like the raddest years ever. I think I was getting paid like $1,000 a month from Blind, $75 a month from Vans, $300 a month from Pure Wheels, and I was saving money every month.
That's
You know what I
epic,
mean?
dude.
Yeah.
So there's never any like stress. It was just all about skateboarding, dude, and like creating, just doing new shit, and supporting each other, and that camaraderie was super rad.
So that
For
airs
sure.
when you drop Tim and Henry's Pack of Lives. Absolute classic. Tell us about filming for that video, how good you felt on the board. Was that the best you felt skating?
Undoubtedly. But listen, you know, when you started with the triple OG,
Yeah.
dude, I haven't done anything but one video part. I'm serious.
But that's all you need when that's the one. That's a great,
I
that's
guess.
a classic,
Like,
man. People talk about that to this day.
Goldfish part, hated it. That's where I started sucking. That's when I went and got my bartending's license. I could just tell. And my GED. And I told Eric Hassan and like Chico and everyone to get their GED. I was like, dude, it's fucking easy. Eric, you got to get it. You got to have something. Eric passed it. Chico came back and goes, I failed. I was like, well, the math was kind of hard. Wait, what were we talking about? Some 51, I forgot.
Yeah, just how good you felt in Tim and Henry's Pack of Lives. Like, was that the peak of your skate powers?
Yeah, dude, clearly. It was obviously like, so it wasn't even like, hey, let's go make a video. Literally, we were just skating every day, and Socrates Leo was employed by World Blind, etc. And we just compiled footage. And the reason why it was only Tim and Henry is because we were the only ones who had the most footage. And they just had a decision to make. Is like, do we just release this and as a Tim and Henry thing, or do we just try to do a whole new Blind video? So that was why it was just me and him, and we just got on Blind. But we had the most footage at the time.
And what is Pack of Lies? What? Nothing?
No idea. I don't even know who.
Just catchy phrase?
Rocco came up with that name.
Okay.
Yeah, those were the best. That's undoubtedly the best I've ever felt on the skateboard. But listen, after that, dude, I really haven't done anything. Like, honestly, like I knew I was sucking because I couldn't do switch. Anything with my left side, dude, I can't do.
They did a lot of fakey, stuff. A lot of half cap
but
stuff.
like, if you notice, dude, you'll never see me do a nollie heel, nollie flip, nothing. You'll never see me doing switch flips, switch heel, switch trick. I would get away with it with like a switch shove. But yeah, switch stance kind of killed me. And then, basically
Did a switch crook in a line. Saw one of those.
Yeah, I guess, right? But that was like a struggle.
So yeah, what was going on with your royalty checks back in the heyday? We heard you might have even had to break into accounting to get some answers at one point.
So Rocco's brother, Sal Rocco, and he was the manager of the warehouse, and he was a fucking whack job. But we would buy him lunch. I'd say, Sal, I'll buy you lunch if you just turn a blind eye to fucking when we grab product. He goes, you got it. Bring him back a hamburger. Literally pillage the plates. A tin board box, 5 of them. 5 of them. This was 3 or 4 days a week. And then everyone else started doing that. And then we inevitably created the secondary market at Santa Monica Beach, where dudes were hitting us up going, can we buy a board? And, you know, Chico was selling them for $25, and then I slid in and was like, if I just get them more hamburgers and take more, I could sell more. So my prices were $15 a board. So everyone would go to Chico. I killed it. I killed the market. Everyone would go, dude, I get it from 10 for 15. And Chico and them were like, dude, why are you fucking up the prices? Over time and I don't even know if I had a good reason to believe, but I befriended the accountant at World Industry. I would just sit in his office and look around. And one day he left his office, and I turned off the recorder of the entire camera system at World. And then that's where fucking Black Friday happened, dude. It just boxes, and I don't even know how it was still in business. But anyways, I was talking to him, and I said, dude, what is this? I started looking at his desk and papers and asking dumb questions, trying to pick my but I'd say, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? And he kind of was like shady, like kind of weird how he was answering everything. And I was telling everyone, I was just starting shaking, like, dude, we're getting ripped off. Like, I don't even know if I had a reason to believe that, but it opened a whole discovery of all of us. So I ended up getting, like, from that dude, royalty reports. I don't know how that happened. I don't know if he was cooperative with, like, no, here, this is how this, or I took them. I don't remember. It may be the latter. I think I took them, and then shit wasn't adding up. And these were skaters with GEDs. We were probably looking at it all wrong. It was probably all right. But to us, it was all wrong.
Yeah.
And then that's how Plan B kind of got started. That's how, like, a lot of shit started to get questioned.
Questionable.
Damn.
Dude, look, at the end of the day, I think skaters are getting ripped off, whether if it's directly or indirectly, all the time. There's just real no representation. It's, there isn't no opportunity to go get the bag or the right way, right? So I think skateboarders will always indirectly or directly be ripped off to some capacity.
So at the end of Blind, how does it come down to you versus Henry to be the last man getting on Girl? And what did it mean to get on that, be a part of the opening roster of the Girl family?
I was the last pick, dude. It was either me or Henry. I remember there was a tour, and I was partying more at the time, and I created a whole world outside of skateboarding back in LA that I was enjoying. And there was a tour, Blind Plan B tour, and I was like, I ain't going. Fuck them. So they all went. But I remember Henry got in a huge fight with this dude and Sheffy and blah, blah, blah. And so I think by default, certainly not by talent, I was the last pick because I think Henry had an issue with something. Or I don't know what the detail was, but Henry was clearly the better skateboarder. I was picked. I don't know. Thank God.
That's fucking sick.
It would have sucked. No, it would have sucked to not be on Girl because of my relationships with all these guys. The way, like Costin, you know what I mean? Like, Costin was this fucking nerd. Hat, salt rings all up in it in San Diego when he rode for H Street. And I could tell, I was like, that motherfucker is good. And then me and Costin got an apartment together, and then that apartment became the new hub in LA where everyone was hanging at our house. And then I got a girlfriend, moved out, and Barra moved in.
Oh. Crazy.
He was Eric Sidepiece Barra.
Wow. So can you take us back to those early Girl Chocolate tours? What were those vibes like with the new squad?
There's one in particular, dude, where the story is we were in the van and we were driving, we were fucking trying to get to the next spot. Because nothing was really, there was an itinerary, but it was like really an itinerary. It's like, we had to be at, say, Des Moines, Iowa tomorrow to do a demo at 2:00. Well, we were at the city prior skating some fucking school we got hit to by some local. But I remember we were doing an all-nighter drive, and rest in peace, Peter Sullivan, who was the team manager at the time, fell asleep at the wheel, dude.
Oh, wow.
And I remember I was laying down in between the bench seats and off-road, blah, 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 full-blown. That was the one moment that I fucking almost died. But I do remember that. I remember just being in the van with everyone. Those fucking drives were the best. I mean, honestly. Again, times of my life where you can't replace. Just being in the back, I created a name for the back row called back panel. I don't even know what the fuck that means. But everyone would fight with me in the back panel. That's where I first started smoking cigs with Keenan.
How old were you
Keenan Milton
on those tours?
17.
Damn, yeah, those are the times.
17 to 19.
Yeah.
17 to 18, 19. So those tours were awesome just because they were like, I don't know, they introduced me to so many things, whether good or bad, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Smoking.
So at one point you lived in a house with Jerron and Sheffy. Can you give us a quick story about that trio, some of the stuff you three got into?
Yeah. So I don't know why, but I was like the guy who always had apartments and roommates. You know, Eric was a roommate. Jerron was a roommate. But I think Jerron was one of my first roommates. We had an apartment in Woodland Hills. Sheffy would stay with us. He would sleep something with the dining rooms, dude, with skateboarding. He stayed in our dining room, but I remember like fucking waking up at like 4 or 5 in the morning one night. And Sheffy was on the couch carving a spear, twisting his dreads, watching cartoons at like 4 or 5 in the morning. And I was like, holy fuck, I don't think he sleeps. He would go 2 or 3 days without sleeping, dude. Gnarliest fucking, he was a machine. But that apartment was right parallel to a freeway, a major freeway, that 101 freeway. He would change his wheels and just throw them on the fucking freeway. The old ones, dude. Once a week he would do this. And I'm just like, back then, we wouldn't even bring it up. Like, we would just watch him. He could have fucking killed fucking 20 people. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just crazy ass shit.
Shit's different back then. 9 higher ist kein Pissoir. Das ist ein Wischkabine. You look up at the man who just ripped open your booth and is now screaming at you. Sorry, I don't speak German. And can I please have some privacy? No, you can't have any privacy when you're jerking off in a pissing booth and not even taking a piss. You look around, confused, and suddenly realize that you are not peeing in a futuristic German urinal, but on a screen, and what you realize is a booth for masturbating. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and you had been desperate to take a pee after several liters of German beers. But you had, in all honesty, thought that luck was smiling at you as you found this booth. While peeing, you had been so impressed by peeing on a screen, thinking that the German urinals were something else. Now, however, you realize that luck isn't smiling at you anymore, and that you had been way too desperate, and why the fuck is there a booth for jerking off this wide open? What is wrong with Europe? Before you know it, the man screaming at you is giving you a wipe to clean up your own mess. You now realize that luck isn't smiling at you in any way, because now you will not be only cleaning up your piss, but you will be cleaning up other men's semen. This is the definition of the expression, this fucking sucks. But as you bend down, there is a crash behind you. You turn around and see the man who had been lying screaming at you, face down with a skateboard on his head. You act fast. You pick up the board and push away as fast as you can. As you are pushing, you're hearing the sound of other skateboards behind you and laughter. You turn around and see the entire Baker team behind you, all pushing except T-Funk, who was running. All smiles. After a while, you stop. Turns out that T-Funk had been filming a trick on a rail next to your booth and had fallen, and the skateboard shot out and hit the angry man screaming at you. In their eyes, you had then saved T-Funk by picking up the skate and pushing away. You spend the rest of the night with this great crew of skaters. Traveling through Germany has never been better. Luck is now most definitely smiling at you. Who made sure T-Funk didn't land his trick? CHPO brand, the worldwide leader in sunglasses and watches. Always doing it for the people.
So your first trip to San Francisco, you're staying at Carol's house. You committed a cardinal sin, but blamed it on your homie, Schnur. Not sure how to pronounce that. What's the story there, man?
I don't know. what did I do? Eat his mac and cheese? Or what the fuck? What could have possibly happened there?
No, you took a shit and there was no toilet paper.
Oh my God, dude. The stories are just crazy. They're endless. Yeah. Look, the towel that was hanging on the door already stunk like mildew.
Oh,
because
God.
he probably showered, Carol probably showered and just would hang it. And probably a year went by with that same fucking towel. So I was in a crisis after dropping a bunker buster with no toilet paper, no coffee filters, nothing. So the only option I had was that funky ass towel. So, but I didn't do it. Schnur did it.
You blamed it on him and they all believed you.
Yeah, because Schnur was my little fucking bounce house for adults. He was my little fucking sideshow. He fucking drank too much. But anyways, he could do these tricks. I was staying at his house one day, dude, and he was windmilling, breakdancing, and he accidentally sucked the air in his ass. And he realized that he could do this and fart anytime. He called it suckies. So I would take him to places and go, dude, do a sucky for these dudes. Watch this, guys. And he'd get on his back and start whipping ass in front of everyone. And he's like, oh my God, this guy's a crazy shit. And then one time at Barrowald's house, Sam Barrowald's house, he did it. And then one time a little pebble came out. And it shot out like 7 feet. And we're like, no way, what a fucking, the progression around here is incredible. So I took him, we were in SF once, and I told Javante, I'm like, dude, look, you gotta be my boy. He's amazing. So we were on the little 3, and I was like, sure, shoot a shit ball. You guys are gonna love it. Blast one out there. And Snare tries it and just diarrhea. And then Javante was like, damn, blood, I could have did that.
Oh, my God.
The funniest story ever. Dude. So that's why I blamed it on Shoutout. He was such an easy target. Like, he didn't get a shit ball. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
He would do suckies underwater, and then he would always swim nude. And he would surface and blast water, and he'd call it Shamu. Shamu's coming up. Yeah, there was a whole other level of just frat fun.
Dude, he says that the first time you guys met, you invited yourself to spend the night at his place, and then proceeded to ask his mom if she made any good food.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, he had one more thing.
Listen.
Yeah, okay, you go.
The mom made spaghetti. And this is all on one night, dude. I'm staying there. And I knew he was like my boy after this. Made a spaghetti. I made spaghetti. And he looked at the spaghetti and goes, Mom, the spaghetti sucks ass. Throws it in the ceiling fan.
Oh, my God.
I swear to God, spaghetti everywhere.
Jeez.
But the mom, God bless her, she was always drinking her Pinot Grigio and listening to Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac. I don't think she even gave a fuck. I remember they had a TV. There was a corner like this, and the TV was like that, so there was a gap behind it. And we'd always chill and watch skate videos and just throw trash behind the TV. And then we were sitting there one day, and the dad was like, "Where's the remote?" And he pulled the TV out and just trash.
Oh, man. I heard he did some third-party long-distance billing on behalf of the Schnurs as well.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Schnur's a legend, man. Shout out Schnur, dog.
Schnur, beyond a legend. Yeah. Trust me. I mean... Dude, at my 21st birthday party, I lived with I think it was the Surf Bros. Anyways, we had a house and threw a big party. Sheffy was belligerent drunk and ended up touching some chick and Jerron Spring knew these dudes or whatever. And a fight broke out. And dude pulls a gun out And I was like, damn, what the fuck? And shot Schnur. Started, shot him.
Shit.
So, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I had no clue. We were all wasted. And I remember everyone started running after these dudes at 7-Eleven, threw hot coffee on the dude's face. He somehow got away, called 911, paramedics come, and paramedics told Schnur, you're lucky you're not dying from alcohol poisoning, not the gunshot wound.
How did starting DVS come about? What's the origin story of all that?
So you remember those surf dudes that I lived with?
Mm-hmm.
They had their own little world. And a few of them their family owned a store called 118 Board Shop, Surf Skate Snow. These dudes were not like us. They weren't skaters. They were surfers and snowboarders. And they had a semi-successful retail store. And the one gift of gab that I always had is the ability to meet others outside of skateboarding. And I remember meeting one of the brothers and, hitting it off with him. And they own a retail store. And long story short, me and him created DVS. I came up with the name. I don't even know what it means. I don't know where it fucking came from. Me and him and this dude, Marty Shadone, literally designed 3 shoes called the Slims, Reds, and Whites. Lights. Slims, Reds, and Lights. They're named after cigarettes. Genius. The styles were horrific. They were awful. But I had that opportunity to do this with them. And I always knew that I had the best dudes around me at the time. So I put Keenan on, I put Jerron on, I created the team. And back then you could get away with bad product, depending on who was on the team. Mm-hmm. So we got away with shit shoes for a few years, doing DVS, but that's essentially how it started. And I remember the trajectory, believe it or not. First year we did like 1.5 million,
Jeez.
3 million, 7 million,
Damn.
15 million.
Oh yeah, dude. When we started skating, like they were huge and established already. DVS.
It went fast. I mean, it was right place, right time. The opportunity was perfect, but the product was trial by error for I would say the first 2 years. I mean, the product, if you look at it, the shoes are awful.
And what made you start a shoe company? Like usually it's like, you go clothes or a board or, you're at this point, you're with the Girl Chocolate fam. What made you go outside of that family and meet these brothers and start a whole new avenue?
Well, I think because I was writing for Vans at the time. And again, I was making like $75 a month, and DC just started, and I thought DC was cool. No really smart or right reason why we did shoes. It was just kind of,
that was the choice.
I don't know how it happened. Yeah, it was just by default maybe, but I do know why I created Maddox and Mackay and everything else. So DVS was created. It was me and 2 brothers, really 1 brother, and then as it became more successful, the family got more involved because that trajectory was pretty impressive. So
yeah, that's crazy.
They kind of quit their day job, so to speak, and started. So it's me and the Donut family, and I put as many people on DVS because I wanted to take care of everyone around me, and then realized that I couldn't put on any more people. So it's like, how could I take care? Fine, just start another company. Let's do a clothing company. So I started Maddox. Mind you, the name Maddox came from, I was watching the postseason baseball and Greg Maddox was pitching. And I remember the commentators would always say, and I just thought that name sounded cool. So I was like, we're going to name it Maddox and spell it different. So that's where the name Maddox came from. It was really Greg Maddox.
So sick.
And then put on Mark Johnson and Rodney Mullen and created a sick team for Maddox. And again, it was the same story with product, just us trying to figure out how to make clothing. But that became super successful. And then we started a distribution company, Podium Distribution, where it was DVS and Maddox. And And it became a thing. Like we were doing it. We were players. And around 2004 or 5, I believe, I went to Rick and Mike and I was like, dude, let's do your own shoe company. Like I have it all over here, you know. And long story short, they left DC to do Lakai, and Mike came up with the name Lakai, I think after Malachi from the movie Halloween. Oh my God. More branding genius. But yeah, so we started Lakai, and then that became successful. And, you know, those guys were kind of spearheading Lakai. It was me, Rick, and Mike, and 2 of the brothers from DVS and Maddox. We were all equal 20% partners of that. And then as time came by, you know, I was always thinking, whether if it was from skateboarding, from not being able to do switch, I went and got my bartending license and my GED. I was always living my life with scarcity. Like I knew I was always going to have to think of the next thing. So with DVS, Maddox, and Lakai, I was like, fuck, what's the next thing? Like, what if so I told Sung Choi, who was the main designer from DC, I was like, look, if you want to do a shoe company, I'll do it. You just got to design for Lakai, because I thought his designs were sick. So we did Clay, and I named Clay after Cassius Clay, CLAE. And Clay was a super rad brand, but it was way ahead of its time because of distribution. It was supposed to be the streetwear lifestyle thing, but plugged into a skate distribution model. It's like, where do you sell it? You know what I mean? It's like the skate shops didn't know how to merchandise it. So Clay had so much potential, but never really took off. So Clay kind of just dissolved, or we kind of sold it off. And the legendary story is, you know, we had an offer from Billabong to buy DVS and Maddox. And they only wanted DVS and Maddox, and it was a big number. It was over $100 million. But Lakai, I would have had to sign a no-compete clause for Lakai, because they didn't want Lakai, because Lakai was doing $15 million in sales, but wasn't that profitable, if it was profitable at all. So I was the swing vote. I was like, we can't do that to Rick or Mike. You can't take the deal. So I said, we had a deal basically with Billabong for $100 million around 2005.
Wow.
I remember Rick and Mike, Kelly Bird going, dude, you are a legend for that. And I was like, am I a legend? I'm a fucking idiot. But look, I mean, looking back, it's like, I can say I don't have bad blood with anyone. My credit stock's good. I feel like I've made, I don't think business-wise the smartest choices, but in terms of a human and you know, I've made choices, I mean, for other people, but I can live with, I guess.
Wow. That's a massive number right there.
Crazy.
What a crazy story, though. That's a wicked entrepreneurial story right there, man.
Look, back in those days, if I would have made those millions, I would have spent them. I probably wouldn't even. Yeah, I was not mature enough for that amount of money. Who knows where I'd be.
I heard that those brothers, or the Dunlap brothers, they didn't mind spending some cash back in the day. What were some of the craziest things they would blow a little bit of cash on, man?
I don't think they were the ones spending money. I had the corporate card. Everything was on me. Dinners, lunch. But whenever we started going out a lot at that time, I remember, it's so funny because now at Tiva and Aqua, out party, I remember them coming out with us and being like quiet in the corner, not drinking. It's like, that was the time to do it. Not now, you're fucking 48. Anyways, I would literally buy the bar out every night on the corporate card. I'm talking thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Back then, doing that, it's like that's where so many opportunities came. It's like being out and about,
the networking,
spending money. Yeah, truly, it's like a lot of people in music, and created this whole music thing with DVS. And but yeah, dude, I was spending. We would go over my credit card statement, $50 to hundreds to thousands of dollars on just food and drinks.
Dude, those memories, though.
It's called Meals and Entertainment.
Yeah.
It's GL, the classification.
Shit. The good old days, eh?
Yeah, best memories right there.
Legendary collection you guys put out, the Gusto Gav collection. The cargo shorts and jacket had a special feature on them. Can you tell the people what was up with those?
That character, Gusto Gav, was just, it came from a Halloween costume that me and Tony Ferguson created. Tony was one of my dear friends at the time, and he would stay with me in my own apartment when I lived alone, and we'd always joke that he would stay with me to nurse me back to life every morning. But he was always infatuated with that type of dude, you know what I mean? So I think like 2 or 3 years in a row for Halloween, that was our costume. And I kind of just created that line of product with that dude from that dude, which is just, you know, pretty awesome white trash, fucking river type fucking dude. I don't know. Yeah, and we definitely didn't go to business for a school for fucking marketing and branding, but you know that's kind of what was working at the time, was like super just authentic, fun shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like fun was selling back then.
Yeah.
Was that the collection? With
now everything's so serious.
Was that what Frost was talking about? You could like fit 6 tall cans in the. There's a special feature on the shorts.
Yeah. There's like pockets in them, and within the pocket there's like a mesh pocket. You could put a beer there. It was beer everywhere.
Oh man, how did all of the DVS and Madix and Podium come to an end? What's the story there? It's
funny in business, you know, everyone always tends to chase gross sales, top line sales. You know, we're doing 80 million. It's like, oh, cool, but are you profitable, right? So, you know, in all of those years of DVS and Madix, we were making the most money at 20 million, right? Mm-hmm. At 20 million, that was a healthy number in terms of sales, where the company is being run right, where we were making the most profit and the highest salaries and distributions, etc. I believe at like 100 and something million, we were like breaking even. It was wild. Yeah, that's so crazy. It's really not about sales; it's about profitability. Mm-hmm. But 2004 or 5 is when we got that Billabong offer. Said no, and we had a line of credit with the bank. It was an AB asset-based loan, which we were borrowing against our receivables and inventory. And in 2007, we had a bank crisis here, and the bank started ratcheting down on like certain lines of credits and loans. So they kind of, in a nutshell, put the gun to our head about that loan. It was like 17 mil, and we had extended the entire loan, couldn't pay it back. We had sales erosion. The biggest issue in skateboarding back then is the only way to scale and grow your business was with mall doors, Zoomies, PacSun, and that's how you could grow your business. But the moment that business starts to erode or go away, it cripples companies. Because if 80% of your sales are tied up between 2 accounts, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So the moment there was sales erosion with some of those mall stores, it kind of crippled the business. And we had that bank loan. So we had a vicious storm, which was sales erosion and a loan that was due. So we kind of had to, we were scrambling. And we basically sold it in like a short sale.
Damn.
The other thing is, too, I remember, when I sold DVS and Madix, I forget how that happened, but I loaned DVS or Mackay money, and that didn't work out. So the only thing that came from that is I had carry forward losses on my taxes for many, many years. I didn't have to pay taxes for many years because I lost so much goddamn money.
Fucking hell.
Oh shit, man!
I know.
That sucks.
It's crazy. But listen, no, it was an insane run. Mm-hmm. We had an insane run. I don't think any of us thought we would ever get to that level where it got. But, it gets hard. We missed it. you can't, the brands that stay relevant for many years, dude, hats off, because it's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
And to time the sale or merger or anything is impossible to do. There is no right time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you either want to take another chapter in your life or you just sell it. But we missed that opportunity. And then, you know, just goes downhill from there. And then it's hard to cut too. When you're used to running a $100 million company and you got all these salaries and surf team, snow team, skate team, motocross team, dwarf team, we had it all. It's like, it's hard to cut expenses.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't disciplined enough.
I mean, regardless of how it ended, I feel like you guys fucking had a huge impact on skating, put out epic videos, had kids like me and Dono fucking going to the DVS demo and fucking chasing after Mikey Taylor's shoes. Sorry, that was a seat demo. He was wearing DVS's though, but yeah, just the impact on skating as a whole and supporting so many of your friends with salaries like this. You guys should all be proud.
You know, so I don't know if I'm making giving a clear picture here, but I can say I was always really insecure those days about the business.
I don't know. From our side as kids, like I thought it was top tier, man. And then Skateboard dropped like an ultra impressive video with an epic team, like the Dill part, the Mikey Taylor part, like those were huge. That was a huge video in our childhood. And like we said, this guy pushed me off a mini ramp to get to Mikey Taylor's shoes before I could. So that's how much we wanted the DVSs. So it's something you should be proud of for sure. It's like,
no, I appreciate that. I do. Colin Kennedy is really talented though. He was the one that was really behind that whole thing. You know what I mean?
All right. You talked about DVS and music, and we have a music question. You were neighbors with Tupac and maybe took an elevator ride with him. What's the story there, man?
Dude, that was crazy. He actually lived 2 doors down from me on the other side of the hallway. But I remember parking in the underground garage and getting out, and then he comes in with a 6'4" Impala, literally sideways, and parks it. And when I was getting out, I didn't see him, and I almost hit him. And then I realized like who he was, and I was like trying to be like, you know, how we are, like, you know, and he wasn't having it. He's like, listen, man, if you ever touch my car or get near my car, I will literally kill you. I was like, oh. And then we were going up, and then I was like, God, how do I get away from this dude? And we ended up getting in the elevator together. So I was like in the elevator with him. Then we get out of the elevator and walk down the hallway, and like he goes into his apartment. I go into, it was just a weird thing. But he didn't live there. That was his studio. That was like not really his studio. That was like his little boy's, his getaway, like his secret little spot.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people. Madonna, I seen there. Busta Rhymes, I seen there.
What?
Oh, the elevator ride. No, I had a plant. I went to IKEA, dude. I bought a new ficus, a beautiful ficus. And I was bringing it in that time. This is the story he's talking about. And I didn't see him in there. The thing opens. I brought in the ficus, and I remember hitting him in the face. This is after I almost hit him that time. And it was almost like me again. So now it's like fucking the ficus, and he was like, bro, come on. I was like, oh my God, it's you again. I was like, dude, I'm going to die. But yeah, that was the elevator story. That's what he's talking about, the ficus tree.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Dude, LA back then must have been crazy.
You know, when I had an apartment, dude, I had plants. I had candles. I would light candles and play Mazzy Star if I wanted to. And like, dudes would always come in and trip on that. I would skate with cologne on. I remember like Stephen Kallage would always go, dude, you know, and then this dude skate with Drakkar cologne on. Like, he thought it was cool. And then, you know, I would skate with like collared polo shirts, double RL jeans. That whole thing an interest in style back then came from like Javante. I remember Javante was the dude who I was like, oh, he looks sick, or, you know. But I wasn't scared to be me. You know what I mean? I wasn't scared to hang with surfers. I wasn't scared to do what I just said, or you know, sometimes skateboarding can put so much pressure on you to be a certain way. It was kind of like a breath of fresh air. Like, oh, man, I don't have to be gnarly all the fucking time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We got to know the full story of the Rumble at the Timberland outlet store. How did that start?
All I remember is a full-blown fucking fight. Riot. And what was cool is that we were all in it. No one started away. It was like a moment like Lost Boys, dude. Like, you know, this is a time where you're going to find out who's really who. And I remember everyone stuck around and gave it their best. But I don't know if we won or not. I remember one Asian dude brought it. He was kind of fucking big. I think he punched me pretty hard. I do remember him. But I don't remember who won or lost.
But it was a doozy. Did you start
it? Was a doozy. Again, I think we did. We were just shitheads, man. We were just, you know, the core of it all was we were kind of respectable people, but we were just out of control, dude. We were like kids.
With too much freedom, man. With
no one looking over us, authority.
That's the life, man. How was the trip to Hawaii with Ozzy and his family after you guys did the DVS slipper?
It wasn't about the DVS slipper. I was hanging with them at the time. Yeah. I mean, it's so funny, the consistency of like randoms. But Jack became a good friend of mine. I was partying a lot. And we were out front of this club, and I saw David Beckham there, and I was like, dude, Beckham, kick me. You can kick me. I'm allowing you to kick me. Because he's a soccer player, and he's got a hell of a kick, I bet. So he kicked me. And Jack was over there. We thought it was the funniest thing. And we ended up hanging out that night, briefly. But then the next night, or the next weekend at that same club, he was there, I was there, I bought the bar, but you want shots, whatever. So, you know, I saw who he was hanging with. So we just totally hit it off. And we hung out a lot and partied a lot. But yeah, he invited me, Mandy Moore, and some other dude. And Mandy Moore couldn't make it. I was really disappointed about that. But private jet, I remember on the jet, laying down on this couch, and Ozzy is walking by, went to the bathroom in the back, and he bends over and he starts biting my ear. And I'm like, this is kind of sick, dude. Ozzy's biting my ear. And I'm telling you, 2 minutes went by. And he's still biting my ear. And I'm like, dude, I don't know if this dude's going to get off or he's upset. And Jack finally pulls him off. And I was like, Dad, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, that was fucking crazy. But he was sober at the time. Or he was trying to be.
Okay.
But if you give him a drink, apple juice, milk, he drinks milk, water, anything, beer, he pounds it. But we were at the beach one day, and we were drinking, and I don't know how it started, but I gave him a beer, and he pounded that. And he was like, one more. And I gave him another beer, and he pounded that. And he was doing it, behind Sharon's back. But the raddest thing about that trip was they rented a catamaran for the day. And I was on the bow in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in Hawaii with Ozzy. And he was just telling me stories. And it was just the most insane moment. How the Beatles were his biggest inspiration. And how they were the most talented musicians that he ever witnessed. And, Elton John and all these stories. And it was crazy. But that was, that was super cool that day.
That's epic.
It was amazing.
That's unreal.
You can't beat that.
I remember watching Jack and Dale wrestle for 20 minutes, and sadly, it was a close match.
Oh shit.
Tell us about the time you and Muska were trying back nose blunt on the curb at the same time, man. How'd that battle royale end?
Yeah, yeah, I know exactly. So back in Phoenix, there was Muska and his crew, and Muska was gnarly back then. Came from like he rolled with some dudes. But I remember we were all skating, and Schnurr did something rather. I forget exactly what happened, but I think Muska then pulled a gun on us. I can't remember. Yeah.
He tells it a bit different. He said you and him, he was like trying to back nose blunt the curb, going straight on, and then you went and did back nose blunt from the side, popped out early. And when they were leaving, one of his homies waved the gun at you guys to let you know, like, don't be stepping to Muska, man.
Yeah, no. I think we were making fun of Muska. Me and Schnurr were smart-ass, fucking obnoxious kids to everybody. Mm-hmm. But I think we were fucking making fun of Muska. Matter of fact, we always did. Because he was doing it. But he was doing the back nose straight on, and you can't do that. You got to do it coming in. Yeah, because that way you get the right depth on the fucking bluntage rather than a skid mark. Ellington, too, we were at this place called The Wedge. And this is so fucked. But I was on top and he was on the bottom. And
Pause.
I was like, Ellington, try to 360 the barrel. And he's like, all right. So Ellington went back. And when he was going back, Schnurr moved the barrel back. But he couldn't tell. And he tried and fucking slammed and broke his arm.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, my
Not
God.
to the legends, Ellington, man. He didn't deserve
we
that.
were fucking crazy. Like, Phoenix dudes are gnarly.
Yeah.
There's just not much going on out there.
Man, I've had many epic nights partying in my life, but I didn't know that I missed out so hard. I would have loved to have a night out with you and Schnurr in everyone's prime.
Oh, dude.
Fuck. Have FOMO just listening to these
stages
stories.
of the partying, too. Yeah, well, the barrel, the younger days was just debauchery. But as we got older, the club days was a different style of partying. The club days were fun, though, boy.
Oh shit!
I bet.
But I was never great at school, and I'm super grateful for skateboarding because it gave me a passion at such an early age. Right? It gave me that feeling of, wow, this is what I wanted to do. And the reward it gave me from doing tricks or being progressive or whatever it was, that feeling was, you can't replace it. But I owe everything to skateboarding and its success. I sell real estate today. And, some of the biggest deals or client come from skateboarding. Mm-hmm. Or, there was a period of time where I was totally insecure to tell people I was a skateboarder because I always looked at this to be what success is. But now I go back and because I have perspective and matured a bit, it's like skateboarders are incredible human beings. It's like, dude, I take a new skater golfing and he's like better than the random neighbor dude that I brought that's been playing 8 years. It's like almost embarrassing. But yeah, I mean, I owe everything to skateboarding, but yeah, it's cool. What's next is being a dad, man. Being a dad, and there's some ventures that I want to do. Nothing inside skateboarding, but that whole podium era definitely framed my business mind. That's for sure.
That's awesome.
You think your son's as crazy as you were at 18?
My wife says I'm totally naive, but no, I don't think so.
Feel the heat from here.
Yo, it's Rapid Fire with the Ghost, and this week we're brought to you by the best wheels in the game. Yeah, it's Spitfire. Need something for every spot? 97s are made for it. A soft wheel that slides and is easier on your aching joints? 93s, baby. Something fast and perfect for any surface? Can't go wrong with 99s. Something a little harder for extra speed? 101s. Of course, all Formula 4s, you know Spitfire's got every size, shape, and duro you'll ever need. For whatever Spitfire wheels you ride, all the finest shops got them. Hit up Blue Tile Lounge, Sanction, Rumor Up North, and Atlas, 303, Recess, Civil in the States. And of course, tell them the Bunt sent you. Rapid fire, man. You ready? We got to go quick question, quick answer, fire them off. First thing to come to mind.
Oh, I love these. These are fun. Hold on, let me get ready.
All right. Favorite skater?
Fuck. John's.
Favorite video?
Video days.
Favorite video part?
Guy Mariano video days.
Favorite style?
Mike Carroll.
Which skater had the biggest influence on the way you skate?
Henry Sanchez.
Oof.
Most talented skateboarder on planet Earth?
Guy Mariano. There's so many, but
sounded like you were trying to shoot a little shit pellet across the room there.
No, I don't have that ability, unfortunately.
Favorite trick?
360 flip.
Mm-hmm.
Hardest trick for you?
Switch anything.
Most illegal trick?
Benihana.
Classic.
Favorite clip you ever gotten?
Kickflip. Actually,
Hell yeah. What's the worst trend you've been a part of?
I'm gonna say tagging. We got into tagging because I was bad at it. My tagging, there was shit, like spelled SHIITE, shit.
Brother. I didn't even realize.
What's the gnarliest trick you've ever witnessed?
The 900, Tony Hawk.
Oh.
Wow.
When he did
You
it.
were there?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Epic.
Crazy.
What's the one trick that got away?
I remember I had it. There was this rail, and I was doing a big flip back tail.
What?
And I never landed it.
Big spin flip
A
back
handrail or
tail?
a flat bar?
God damn.
I was pretty good, boys. Pretty good.
A handrail or a flat
Yeah,
bar?
it was a smaller rail.
Okay. What's the biggest bunt you've ever witnessed?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I always wanted to skate vert sick. I always wanted to blare Black Sabbath and be in a backyard party with chicks and fucking be super gnarly and radical and kill a fucking vert ramp and get off and fucking drink a beer and listen to Zeppelin and be at the party. I don't know if that answers it.
That did not answer it, dude. That is not
even close.
Close to the question.
The question was, what's the biggest bunt you've ever witnessed?
I guess her
Like, you ever
Tim's dream.
Got it. I was way off.
I was
keeping
with
it
it.
I don't know. Here, hold on. Let me skip button.
You want to skip that one?
Okay.
We'll skip that one.
So that was the best
first
answer we
answer's
might have
great.
ever got. I mean, I guess you bunted that. You never came close to that, so we'll take
You never
it.
even tried.
What's the last new trick you learned?
Frontside hard flip.
Like on
Is
a
that-
hip
is that
type
how
of
you guys
thing?
call it?
Is that a trick?
Like a hard flip and then flip
Or like
180?
frontside flip? Or like pressure frontside flip?
It's a front shove, but kick flip. What do you call it?
A
Yeah,
hard
that's
flip.
a hard flip. But your body
Oh
doesn't
my
180.
God, you make it sound so easy. Yeah, a hard flip.
Yeah. You out the game.
Yeah, hard flip.
You've been out the game too long.
What did I just say? A frontside
Frontside
shove?
hard
He
flip.
said frontside
You said
hard flip.
frontside hard flip.
Yo.
I was picturing Ryan Gallant. You remember that one in Barcelona?
Yeah, like
I'm
the
like, oh,
actual
you did it on a
180.
hip? Like, yeah.
Oh my God, dude. I really need closed
Yeah,
captions for
triple
this one,
OG,
dude.
like Gavin said. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 OG,
Dream
man.
job
It's
after
like
skating.
Encino, man, dude. Had to crack him out the ice for this one.
Well, that's like calling a tray flip a 360 kick flip.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know about that, but it's not as bad. Yours is way worse. Frontside hard flip. Let's clip that. Let's put that in one of the trailers for sure. Dream job after skating.
Air Force pilot. Fighter pilot.
Really cool.
Favorite local brand.
Malbon. My boy Steve. Malbon golf.
Sick.
Malbon. Love it.
Favorite local skater.
Good shot.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And he lives close, so that's considered a local to me.
That's dope.
What's the one sponsor you regret riding for?
You remember Pure Wheels?
No.
Dude, sick team at a time. Like, yeah, Google it. Probably Pure Wheels.
Favorite teammate ever.
Good legend.
Favorite teammate, Keenan Milton.
Hell yeah.
Rest in peace, legend.
Legend.
Yes, sir.
Worst teammate ever.
Probably Rick Howard, because he's always fucking do stupid shit to me, like slap me, burgers, and always fucking with me. Yeah, I love Rick. It's not like we've grown up and like we now don't like. I don't put a ketchup packet in his drink anymore. I still do. You know what I mean? It's like the same shit still goes down. You know, what you do is you if someone's drinking a Coke, he loves root beer, dude. So you get a ketchup packet and you cut the corner of it a little bit and you slide a straw in there. And then you put it in the Coke, you can't see it. And he drinks it and just pounds ketchup. Oh, I got him on that like maybe 5 times. Works every time.
That's epic. Worst company.
I'm just going to say Nike in the world of skateboarding. I'm just going to say in the world of skateboarding, Nike. Only because it had such an impact on everything.
Took everything out.
Everything. Mm-hmm. Good or bad, it had too big of an impact on skateboarding.
Fair.
That's totally
Good
fair
point.
from your perspective, for sure. Worst trend.
Social media flex.
Great one. Worst style.
Like, I used to trip on Cardiel style, but now I think he's got some of this. He had the sickest style.
Mm-hmm.
But back then it was like, he was crazy. You know, Cardiel's got a sick style. Bad style? I don't know. I can't put that on somebody. Bad style? Frankie Hill.
The ADHD
Awesome.
brain just fucking, I can't do this. Frankie Hill.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
You're like a living version of that meme. You know, the one where it's like go straight or take the right. You always hit the right last second.
Okay, Tim, last but not least, man, who's the last person you want on the sesh?
I don't know. God, I got along with everyone. I liked everyone. Is that such a bad answer? But
You seem like that.
I can't. Yeah, I don't. I'm not raw like that. Like dudes call dudes. I can't. Because really, I don't know anyone. Eric Costin.
Oh,
Has to be Costin, dude. That's my answer now too, man.
I love Costin. We went through a funny time. You know, with Lakai, I remember Eric rode for Lakai because we gave him ownership, and he got pissed. He wouldn't talk to me because we basically gave him ownership of debt. So listen, if we didn't hate on Eric riding for Nike, I mean, you can't hate him anymore. He made he didn't like the debt, so he went the other way.
Oh,
Yeah, he had the
what a way
big
to
press
wrap it
conference
up,
and
bro.
everything, eh?
Yeah, you remember that?
We
That
got
was
the
good.
frost.
That was fun that day.
Yeah.
The frost, man.
That's perfect, dude. Oh, Tim, I cannot thank you enough, man. That was an awesome show. Awesome interview. You're great, dude. But glad we got this. Glad we made this happen.
No, this was so much fun for me. Trust me, the stories and It was a lot of fun for me. So no, thanks for having me. For sure. I'm curious how this one does though. So please,
dude, this is gonna be awesome, man.
If you track numbers, share it with me.
We will for sure.
You've got mail.
Welcome back to the post office, brought to you by our good friends over at Dickey's Skateboarding. Quality workwear since 1922. From the work site to the streets. Ain't nobody keep you fitted like Dickey's, man. Ghost, we are back to hear the people, man. Who we got up first?
All right, might be a timely email or maybe horrible timing because this is back from November. Denver Disrespect from Messy Crockpot. Greetings from Visalia, California. My name is Mike. I've emailed a couple times already. You guys actually played a clip I sent of the kickflip backside tail, homie. You guys were showing love on it, which I was super hyped on. Thanks again for that. Skating in your 40s is not the easiest. This guy says I'm going to try and keep it short. All I see is a massive paragraph here. I'm going to try and keep this short as short as I can. Not really a question, but more of a response to Mr. Benson praising the Broncos defense and then shitting on their 9-2 record, calling it fraudulent, all in the same rundown. Dog, do you need a hug? I will be the first to say that we've had a relatively easy schedule this year, and I will also agree with you as far as putting faith into Bo Nix. I've checked out from Denver, putting my faith into a Denver quarterback ever since 2000 when Elway retired, and they put in Bubby Brister. Nix just hasn't really displayed an impressive performance of offense this season, with the exception of those few games where in the fourth quarter he decides he's an NFL quarterback and wants to be clutch. But the boy plays with heart. He got them to the playoffs last year, and it looks like he's going to be doing the same thing this season. He is definitely putting up a better performance than scrub-ass Wilson did for the few years we had him. Mm-hmm. Okay, wait, why is he calling me out? He's saying the same thing as me. He's basically saying that he's a scrub half the time and then turns up sometimes, which is probably what I was saying. I don't remember, but so with this, I'd like to make a wager. Since you guys are done for the season, great job on the pod, guys, and probably won't get to this email until after the NFL season is done. Oh, shit. Back just in time. Safa, Denver wins the AFC and goes to the big dance. You send me a Bunt hat. Denver doesn't win the AFC. I'll Venmo you 20. Wow. I mean, they won the AFC in the regular season in the bye.
That's not, no,
they got
no,
the bye.
No. That's not winning the AFC. They were the first seed in the playoffs. Yeah, let me know if you're trying to take that action, player. Favorite skateboarding podcast. Thank you guys for everything you do. Mike Ridgway. Yo, you don't owe me $20, man. Like I think Denver would have won that game had Bo Nix not dusted his ankle. Oh man, that's like the worst part of the playoffs.
Yeah, from them being 9-2 to what's happened since this email. That was one of the craziest. If I was a Broncos fan, like one of the craziest 5 minutes from that game ending and beating the Bills in such a beast, like fucking nail biting fashion, to getting a tweet that everyone must have thought was fake. Like I did. I had to like quadruple check it that Bo Nix fucking broke his ankle. Like that was brutal for Denver fans. And then to lose 10-7 when you could have kicked the field goal. We'll get into that in the rundown, but I can't take your $20, man. I really think you guys would have beat the Patriots with Bo Nix. So I'm sorry for your loss, broski.
Dude, that home field advantage in Denver seems like it hits different, man. People get up there, and that's a hard place to play with the air and shit like that. But man, that's a good season for the Denver Broncos. All in all, you know, same thing. Like everybody says the same stuff about Bo Nix, but this season he was getting it done when it mattered most. Would have loved to see him go toe to toe with Drake May, man. I think that the Broncos would have came out on top for sure.
Yeah, and then against the Seahawks, maybe the Seahawks are favored by like 1.5, but nothing. I think they're favored by 4.5 against the Patriots. That makes sense to me. But I think had it been the Broncos, it would have been more of a coin flip. I still think Seahawks slight edge, more potent on offense, but yeah, shitty. I mean, very sad season for Denver because you never know who's getting back, man, to the promised land.
All right, next up, we've got a voice note from Owen. Let's take a listen.
Yes, boys. Hope you're doing well. I've just been thinking about fakey 270 to nose blunt on a ledge. But is there a nollie variation of this being done? I imagine there has been, but I ain't seen it. Nollie 270 to switch back nose blunt. Nollie 270 being over the ledge because that's more laying in it. All right, boys. Safe. Let me know safer.
Like nollie cab?
Wait, what was the question? I missed it.
He wants to know if
did you say has that been done on a rail?
I thought he said a ledge.
Can we run that back maybe? I actually it was so quick that I missed it. Sorry.
Yes, boys. Hope you're doing well. I've just been thinking about fakey 270 to nose blunt on a ledge. But is there a nollie variation of this being done? I imagine there has been, but I ain't seen it. Nollie 270 to switch back nose blunt. Nollie 270 being over the ledge because that's more laying in it. All right, boys. Safe. Let me know safer.
I know Dutchy did it at Eggs, right?
Eggs pop
Nollie
out.
270 back, nose one pop up, but did it straight on. And then Wade did the other way.
What's the question? Just has it been done? Period.
Yeah,
that trick's been getting done for years by plenty of people, and the craziest one I've seen was the dude with shit style and his style's getting worse. I just saw him on Instagram the other day. Yeah, not straight on, from the side, nollie 270, switchback nose blunt, and then I
go all the way around.
Yeah, he went all the way around. It became a big debate with John Cos. We were downtown, and he's saying he calls it a nollie cab front blunt. We might have talked about this on the pod. He calls it a nollie cab front blunt. I say nollie cab switchback nose blunt. Either way,
I mean, if you're popping
that
nollie,
trick is,
how do you get to front blunt?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're on my side. I thought it was. I feel like a couple people we asked that day were on either side, but either way, that trick has been done plenty of times. I feel like. Let me try and think of some other ones off top. I feel like I've seen it 270 out. Not the best looking trick. It's been done back to switch. Carlos Ribeiro, I'm pretty sure, has them. Maybe we'll post a couple. Ants, you down to post a couple? Just 2 or 3 for the Monday, and I'll send you some links. Dutchies is my favorite though. Pop out. That was awesome because I don't think I'd ever seen. Insane. I don't think I've seen that pop out since straight on epic legend shit. All right, next up we got an email from Walter McCoon. Sup, Bunt Boys, longtime listener. First, Donald claiming Grayson Fletcher will never be Sodi is wild. Main reason for the email, I've been listening and following for a long time now. It's been wonderful watching your podcast grow. Seeing y'all do and go to events is wonderful. Question, how does it feel getting to hang and become friends with pro skaters that you grew up watching and following? What is your one, oh shit, I'm actually doing this moment? Hyped to see y'all living out y'all skaters' childhood dreams. Shout out Antoine behind the scenes. And if you ever drop the it's a Kwu ting, it's not cool ting, it's a Kwu KWU ting still from the intro, I will stop listening. It's ingrained in my brain. Much love, Walter. Yeah. All right. Yeah, just for you, we'll never switch it, bro. Donald, do you have
I don't think that's ever coming out. We're actually doing this. I feel like after all 3 of the Bunt Jams in Toronto, I've had that exact same high moment of holy fuck, all these people just came to Toronto for an event that we're doing. That is more of a grateful feeling. One thing where I'm living out my childhood dreams is probably becoming homies with Atiba, because Atiba is like the most loved person in the industry. Like everyone fucks with him, and he's always having just a great time. So being homies with Atiba again, to hang out with him is something I never thought that would be possible when I was a kid, I bet.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I'll give two. One from the early days where it was like, I think we've said this, we both have the same experience, but I think it was maybe season 2 or 3 where we're still just starting and we'd mostly done our friends and stuff to that point. But I just remember when Rick McCrank popped on I forget what we used to use, but when he popped on
just
the video,
FaceTime,
that
I
was
think.
like,
Yeah.
And we still did them together in the same room. We were sitting, I think, at your Coxwell apartment. We're just sitting there, like, and then McCrank popped up. I was like, oh shit, the fuck?
That's crazy.
And then because McCrank and Costin growing up were just the guys, man. They were winning every contest. Mm-hmm. They had the best video parts. They were teammates. Like, they were just this epic duo. So getting him on was crazy. And I know we haven't had Costin on, but like to fast forward to my more recent one, because I feel like we also have mentioned over time, not that you take it for granted, but you get a little more desensitized to meeting so many of your favorite skaters, because we interview so many people, like we're in the hundreds at this point. But that last trip I did to LA, I had some pinch me's where it was just like my itinerary in the day was just so wild that if you told my younger self that like you'd be staying at Atiba's house and then Malta would pick you up to go do the PSL thing with Mike Moe, and then later that day you're partying with Costin and Nuge and Atiba and fucking Justin Timberlake. But that was a random non-skate thing. But yeah, just that whole trip was fucking so fun. And yeah, I feel like we definitely still get those moments. And then one more, it was just Costin making fun of Dono so much was just hilarious, where it's like you're past the point of like, oh, I'm friends with Costin now. It's like he's chirping the fuck out of you in fantasy football. And he called me
fucking scrub himself.
What do you call me? King John Benson. Because I didn't want to change the rules for him in fantasy. Anyways.
Yeah, when Costin's making memes about you in the group chat, it's beyond just like, hey, that's Costin. It's like, now we're friends enough to be enemies now, essentially.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, next email coming in from, it doesn't really say, Kazam, we'll call him. Sup, friggin' Bunt Holios, writing to y'all from the great state of Maine while the snow starts to pile up. I started listening in 2020 and I'm slowly catching up while delivering beer around the state. Not trying to binge listen so I can truly enjoy the gospel of the bunt. But with the weather in mind, do you fellas have a favorite clip of anyone with snow in the background? I know you'd be shoveling out spots up there. Fucking love the pod. Can't wait to hear you guys come back in the not so distant future. P.S. The Cockroach Celtics are about to win the chip next episode. And I'm very excited to hear how you walk back the Tatum hate and hop on the bandwagon. He must be pretty far back. Shit, snow clip.
That's hilarious.
It's crazy because I can't remember what I said last week, let alone back in 2020 or whenever it was that the Celtics won, 2022 maybe. Snow clip, man. Shit.
The first one that comes to mind, McCrank again, Minik Mati. That was one of the coolest things. Yeah. His intro where he went all A's and 180s. Yeah. And then DeCenzo, I'll give another one. DeCenzo did something similar, and I think he did a frontside flip where he did like it might have been over a little river or something. I can't remember exactly, but he had a wicked snow clip. So shout out Ryan DeCenzo as well.
Yeah, Morgan Smith's original like switch flip and switch heel Commerce 10 were in the middle of winter. I don't know if there was snow in the background, but he's had some insane Toronto clips where he's like skating through salt everywhere. Same with Jesse Williams, Nollie Heel Commerce. I remember sitting on the bench and being colder than I've ever been in my life that day, waiting for Jesse to Nollie Heel that thing.
That clip just resurfaced the other day. Shout out. Yeah, Morgan switch heel 5 sidewalk. That was
cold as fuck. I just don't know if there was snow. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one day. It might have been that day. We started maybe at Shred or something and went downtown. And I think he like nollie back heel Dundas big 2. I just remember salt everywhere and like you're not supposed to be able to get hammers like that. But Morgan didn't give a fuck.
He didn't give a fuck.
He also, I wasn't there, but he did, I think, lip slide front board and maybe 50, Skydome 13. And I remember Cody saying
I was there.
Like one of the coldest days. Yeah.
Salt everywhere.
I don't know
we
if
went
there was
from
snow, but
we went from Hot Ledge to Skydome 13. It was insane. Like the 50-50 was right at the top too. Lip slide that's death defying, man. Like so much room for error. Frozen trucks. Your grip's fucked from the salt. Morgan Smith. That's just my winter skater. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah, that's that Canadian desperation to skate outside in the winter months. I think as far as the Celtics go, I remember my sentiment being like the lesser of two evils. I just really, really, really didn't like Luka at the time. And I think I was like, I'd rather see the Celtics win. It was inevitable than Luka's dusty ass, but definitely am not on the bandwagon. I'll tell you that. Okay, next up, we got an email. A voice note from Mason Jberg. Oh, fuck. I meant to hit up Malto about this, see if he had any insights, but I forgot.
Yo, Donovan and Seifa. I'm going to try to keep this brief, but just something I have to bring to y'all's attention. So 303 Board Shop came through Kansas City, filmed a little tour video, and it's been causing some stirrings. You guys may or may not have seen or heard about this by now, but I know you guys have watched the Escapist video that came out in the last couple of years. And man, did the Colorado boys come to the same spots and do all the same tricks in their video? I'm just curious on what y'all's take on that is. In my opinion, there's so many more tricks that they could do, so many more spots they could go to, and it just seemed almost intentional in a way. And, you know, a lot of people are making the argument, you know, it's not like they were taking tricks from video parts or nothing like that. It's just a tour video. I understand that, but at the same time, it's like, man, like, it's not like there was no more tricks that could be done. It just seemed a little bit underhanded, in my opinion. I'm just curious about what you boys think about it. Much love to you boys. Cannot wait for season 23. And all right, that's all I gotta say. Peace out.
Dude, this is fucking epic, man. Love a little skate beef. I had no idea about this. I hadn't watched the Escapist video or the 303 video. We might need to do a little bit of research and make a mental note to come back to this with a more educated opinion. I don't want to say something and then just be completely wrong and have to backtrack.
Yeah, let's make a mental note to hit up a couple homies and see if there's something deeper than this, because on the surface, if it's a tour video, there's wiggle room there. I don't think that, especially these days, man, like everyone's so good, everyone's doing the same tricks, there's so much skating going on all the time that it's hard to not do the same shit. But maybe between these two crews there is some beef, so not knowing, I also don't want to like just fucking call them out if it was all unintentional, or you know, maybe it was intentional and there's beef and who knows. But I think a tour video is like, man, Adidas came to Toronto last summer, did a bunch of epic tricks, a bunch of MBDs, but they also did a handful of tricks that had been done. But it's like, what am I gonna be like? No, you can't do that. Like, my homie did that fucking 12 years ago. Like, who cares? You know? So that's probably where I would land, unless we find out that it was like some intentional beef. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Mental note. Let's come back to this, dude. I want to know if there was any intent behind this. If there's a little bit of rivalry between the shops. If there's prior beef. There's a lot that can go into this being more than just a fluke. If it's just a fluke, that's one thing. Holy fuck, what the hell is that thing? A cat?
Oh, cat, yeah. It's like obsessed with me. Okay.
All right. Last but not least, we have Joey Clopton, the voice note. Let's take a listen, man.
Yo, what up, Bunt? Joey out here in Kansas. Huge fan of the pod. Currently going back and listening to like every episode. Been having a blast. Kind of fun fact about me. Growing up in Kansas, I spent some time in Newton. Dennis Blizens actually lived there for a while. Nice to see him rolling around at the park, killing it. Then I moved to KC and kind of experienced the same thing with Sean Malto. So I sort of saw like the two kind of main legends from Kansas holding it down. It's kind of interesting. But I just wanted to touch base with y'all on some. For me, the only thing that makes a poser in skateboarding is when you're skating for any other reason than it being fun. So with that being said, if you're not doing a trick that you think is fun because you're worried about what some fuck thinks about it, aka illegal tricks like y'all Nollie Smith or whatever, that kind of makes you a poser in turn. Y'all got any thoughts about what makes you a poser? Thanks, dudes. It's all love. Have a good one.
What makes you a poser?
I think that's a little too strict.
Great question.
If you don't want to do,
said that was some intent, man.
Yeah. If you don't want to, if you enjoy Nollie Smiths, but you don't want to do it because people think it's whack, I don't think that makes you a poser. I think that just means you're a little
the thing
self-conscious,
is, like, me and
but not.
Safa we do those illegal tricks for fun. So he does have like a small point there. Like, I get what you're saying, but I don't even know
what
you're
saying, but it's just too strict.
Poser, man. Yeah, I don't think that makes you a poser, dude.
I saw one the other day. Yeah.
You saw a poser?
Yeah, I saw.
How did you know they were a poser?
Because who was I? I was in the car with someone, and we were driving along like St. Clair or something, and this dude. Oh no, fuck. We were driving along Bloor in the West End, and this dude just had a board with no scratches, but he was kind of like he looked like a punk, like a squeegee kid, kind of, you know, and it was just a straight up accessory. Like, he had the look of like, oh, I'm a raw, like, fucking,
I'm grunge,
mohawk, fucking, yeah. And then he had his board with no scratches on it, trucks with no scratches on it, and the wheels like yellow. You know what I mean? Like, he'd had the board for a while.
Oh,
but
the yellowing wheels.
It was just, just a poser. Yeah. It was just a full-on accessory, and he was walking. Like, why aren't you even pushing, fool, down the street?
I think that's a good definition, man. Someone using skateboarding as an accessory. No matter how good or bad you are at skating, if you're skating, you're a skater. It's not an accessory. When it's used as an accessory, you are a poser.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, because I'm not
this guy.
If you're hella good,
Joey
but you
Clopton,
just don't want to do a trick because people think it's whack, that doesn't make you a poser to me.
Yeah, Joey. I see what you're saying, but we're gonna go with that's our definition, man. I think that's it, man. We got to remember, we got to get some info on the 303 versus Escapist beef. It's very interesting. We love a little skate beef. But y'all know what to do. Hit our line, thebuntlive@gmail.com if you got any info on this beef and if you got any questions for the post office. Y'all know where to
blow
find
this out
us,
of
man.
proportion. I like both videos.
I gotta
too,
get to
that
the
he's
bottom of it, bro.
talking about. I watch both of them. They're both awesome.
I might even watch
All right.
Welcome back to the Rundown, the Skateboard World Source for Sports. We are happy to be back just in time for the NFL wrapping up, but we got to get back to some unfinished business, man. Fantasy football wrapped up a few weeks ago. A glorious end to some seasons and not so much for others. In the league we talk about here most, a new champion was crowned. He went on a crazy run at the end there. Jesse Alba takes home the Love Island Survivor League that obviously needs a new name. But you and Jesse made an absolutely massive trade close to the trade deadline. I think it benefited both of you guys, but Jesse goes on to win it all, man.
Yeah. Congrats to that scrub. It was only annoying because he beat me in round 1 by 3 points, and I thought I was gonna win. He had DK Metcalf the last game before he got suspended. I had Achan, and I was up by like 0.3 or something at halftime, and of course DK, 1 of 3 catches, touchdown, ends my season. Pure bullshit. But the trade almost fucking worked so well for me because I think Rice had like 2 points or something. Joe Burrow had like 5 points or something. I can't remember. Like everything went right for me in the trade. But anyways, congrats. That was bullshit. The worst. There's such thing as a sore loser. Jesse is the definition of a sore winner,
bro.
So
like
I guess
picture in the dictionary of Jesse under sore winner. He'll ride this shit. It just never goes away. You know, I thought it was bad with the World Series, and now double down. You put this on top, like it's getting out of control. I just gotta say also, shout out to Ants for saying I wouldn't make the playoffs in the Bunt Fantasy League. Went on to take down Russ Milligan. After all, Ants won. Never dealt me, man. The team I built was built for greatness. You know what I'm saying? Safe was upset too because I beat him 2 weeks in a row. Last week of the regular season and then the first round of the playoffs. But, you know, we won't get to all that. Let's get to the real NFL playoffs. Unless you want to say something. Were you about to say something there?
I was about to say that was another... Actually, Jesse's run wasn't fluky. He did it like it was pretty dominant, but yours was one of the worst flukes I've ever seen. So I'll just leave that there. The only reason
you can say that because you lost Jaden 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, but Jaden Daniels and Achan got ruled out.
That's fantasy football. And you won
by 3.
That's fantasy.
I know.
Football,
I'm saying
dog.
It's a fluke. I'm just saying it was a fluke,
bro. Lots of shit went into the season before that, and then I beat you the next week, which you guarantee to win on. But, anyways. Real NFL
your
playoffs.
Run from then on was respectable, but getting in was a fluke. No, I'm just saying.
At the end of the day, you lost, and a new winner was crowned. We'll start in the NFL playoffs. The AFC, Denver clinches, they get the bye. Buffalo versus Jacksonville. One thought for each playoff game.
Sorry, from just this last weekend?
No, we're starting from the beginning. We're going to go all the way until the Super Bowl, and then we're going to make predictions. So we're going to do one thought or just like a rapid fire, whatever comes to mind for each matchup all the way until the Super Bowl. First was Buffalo versus Jacksonville.
Jacksonville should have won. They abandoned the run. I don't know why they put it in Trevor Lawrence's hands so much. He was almost throwing interceptions every other throw, and the running backs and him were averaging insane yards per carry. That was stupid.
Yeah, they let that one slip away. Obviously, Buffalo's defense could not handle the run from Jacksonville, And then I feel like they rushed it on that final drive, forcing a throw. Buffalo got lucky in Jacksonville, to say the least. Next up, New England and the Chargers.
They've had no O-line pretty much all year. Chargers, I thought they would do a little better than that. I think they had 6 points, but there's not much to say. They were just outclassed on both ends.
Yeah, that one was not close. They got to do better for Herbert. We don't even really know how good Herbert can be, just because his career has been in flux with the weapons he's had. They switched coaches a bunch of times. Now they got the coaching thing all short up, but they got to figure out getting him some goddamn protection. Or legit, he's going to be the next Andrew Luck that was never as good as Andrew Luck. Houston, Pittsburgh.
Houston, Pittsburgh. So that was the Steelers. I don't even want to talk about the Steelers, man. I ain't even got words for that scrub ass organization that I support. There was no chance. They should have been tanking for years, trying to get a fucking QB. There's not much else to say.
Truly, I thought it was going to be closer, and I thought Pittsburgh, if they could, limit Houston to less points, they could actually get this win. But obviously didn't happen. Houston rolls over Pittsburgh. To the second round, Buffalo, Denver. Maybe the best game of the playoffs so far. Maybe some of the Chicago games were better. But a truly classic game. Bo Nix versus Josh Allen.
Yeah, that was epic. I think Josh Allen's my most hated player in the league, but with the hate, it's like how I hate LeBron comes respect, because they're so hard to eliminate in the playoffs. Like when I watch the NBA playoffs or the Bills, it's the same feeling of it feels inevitable that they're going to win. And I've just gotten luckier as a fan with the Bills because they always do lose, but they never get blown out. He almost never gets blown out. Even that game against the Pats in the regular season where they were down 21-zip or something, come back and win the fucking game. It's very rare to see Josh Allen lose by 2 scores. So that was a classic. And that fumble, oh my God, right before halftime was just a beautiful thing.
That ended the
man.
game. It was the turnovers, man. You can blame it on the refs or then they fire the coach, but ultimately Josh Allen did not have his best stuff. Lack of weapons contributes to this, but after Cook fumbles and they put points on the board, to get the ball back and then have that fumble before half, that's where the game was lost. Before Cook
10 points
fumbles
right
that
there.
We're about to go up probably further than Denver can catch us at that point. And then to give up. So this one is on Josh Allen. And I'm the biggest Josh Allen fan there is, maybe. But that one's on Josh. You can't blame the refs. You can't blame the other weapons. You can't blame the coach. I don't know why they fired the coach. I don't know who they're going to hire now. There's literally no one out there. They're going to go back and rehire Sean McDermott probably. But that one's on Josh. Sucked to see him devastated, but wasn't a Super Bowl roster to begin with, so it makes no difference. Next up, New England and Houston.
That was a pretty boring game. CJ Stroud, man, I've never seen regression like this 2 years in a row. Somehow he's won a playoff game, I think, in all 3 seasons, which is super impressive. Hats off to him for that. But I remember ranting and raving about him in his first year, being yo, this guy's special. And he really was that year.
He was incredible.
He was setting rookie records and different things and whatnot. Then takes a step back the next year and then took another step back this year. He hasn't had an O-line for 2 years. So part of me is maybe you hold out hope, but now the media is questioning, do you give him an extension? That's when you know you're fucking up. So
now they're in
I hope they
spot.
can figure it out. If they have an O-line and he could play like he did as a rookie and they keep that defense, that's a Super Bowl contending team. But
that's
the offense has a lot of question marks. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but I'm trying to hold out some hope because I like the Texans for whatever reason. I always kind of have.
They're easy to cheer for. The lack of run game doesn't help the lack of O-line either. With Mixon in there, it looked a little more comfortable for him, but he was just getting absolutely exposed in New England. That game was not close and was not fun to watch. And then obviously this past weekend, New England and Denver. Denver beats Buffalo, and I don't know who took it worse, Buffalo fans or Denver fans, that Bo Nix wasn't going to play the next week. I think everybody involved in that situation was just absolutely devastated. But yeah, New England, they get the job done. In this, there's a little bit of snow. They just couldn't. Not much scoring going on. A defensive chess match, and New England going back to the Super Bowl. I think everybody in the AFC East is having absolute nightmares, thinking that the Tom Brady reign of terror would end and New England would be stuck in a rebuild similar to the last 100 years of the New York Jets or last couple years of the Dolphins and then the Bills before Allen. But New England says they move different, man. They got Drake May and Mike Vrabel, and they heading back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I've been kind of like a lukewarm Patriots supporter this year because I had Drake May in 2 leagues, so I enjoyed watching his success. No, I'm not saying I'm a fan or I'm
it's
a Patriots
just so
guy,
twisted
but
what fantasy does to you, man. You know?
Yeah. But I will say this run to the Super Bowl, the memes are going crazy and shit, but it has been it is kind of sad when you think about all the other teams that haven't made it in this time, and then the path that they've gotten to get to the Super Bowl is just ridiculous, man. What was the week one? We just
they literally just beat the Chargers, the Texans,
You're right,
and the Bo Nix list Broncos.
That's crazy. And you think about all the Josh Allen battles, trying to go through Burrow and Mahomes and Lamar and all those guys from the 2018 draft class that Baker.
Bro, even
Lamar,
this year when he had he had to go toe to toe with the hottest team in the NFL, Trevor Lawrence, in Jacksonville. He narrowly escapes that, and then Bo Nix puts up 30 points on them. And Drake May just going about his business, bro. All you can do is play the team in front of you, and that's what he does.
Yeah.
Boston got some fucking life.
That's
man.
Cool. That's crazy. It really is.
Yeah. So the Patriots are in the Super Bowl. Let's move to the AFC. Obviously, Seattle gets the bye. I think they beat San Francisco in the last game of the season to secure that, right? San Francisco went on a little run there. Seattle gets the job done. Game one, Rams and Panthers. Who would have thought this would be as competitive as it was?
I did, because I put money on the fucking Rams to win, and as soon as I ever do something like that, they make you sweat it out.
They drag you through hell.
They were a 10.5 point favorite, so everyone and their mom put that as a leg in any parlay. Rams to win, and Vegas or whoever, you know what I'm saying? There's just no way you ever get a free leg when it's supposed to be free. But yeah, that was actually a fun game. Stafford and them marched down the field. Fucking who caught that touchdown? Was it Puka? I can't remember now. It's been a while, but touchdown to win it in the clutch. That was an exciting start to the playoffs for them.
Mm-hmm. Man, the Los Angeles Rams seem like a team that always play down to whoever they're playing. They will dumb down their game just to make it competitive with whoever they're going up against. And as a sports fan who just loves to watch the games, I love the Rams for that, man. You just make it exciting for everyone else. Next up, Green Bay and Chicago.
Barn burner. Holy shit. 21-3 at half, I think. Something like that. Cardiac Bears did it again. And it was funny because it's I just kept saying, their luck's gonna run out. And then they fucking pull it off again. But then I'm there's no way they're doing this again. Doing it all regular season there. And even getting a playoff game, you can't rely on that. Next year, their whole focus needs to be let's fucking not be down 2 scores going into the fourth.
Let's survive.
Let's come out dominant. Yeah. But bright future, man. And Ben Johnson, as annoying as he was, or I found him to be with his, I just don't like this new trend of like coaches' speeches going online. Like the locker room's supposed to be sacred. I don't want to see your cringe ass speeches.
No,
every
especially after the wins, right? When they hand out the game balls and stuff like that. Like the camera don't need to be in there, man.
Yeah, I hate that shit. Because then it's like, who are they being themselves, knowing it's gonna be all over the internet? You can't be 100% authentic. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, anyways,
agreed.
That was fun season though. Shout out to Chicago fans.
They're not done yet. They beat the Packers. We got one more matchup to talk about.
Yeah.
Don't crown their season yet. We got to keep going, man. Next up,
man, the Packers. Too many.
Two of your favorite teams. Two of your favorite teams, the Niners and the Eagles, toe to toe. This is a win for you, I guess, or a win-loss. Like someone's going home, but someone's going on.
I got my dream because before the playoffs started, you texted me saying, "Man, the Eagles might be going back to the Super Bowl," and I was like, had that same fear. I'm like, man, if they get it together, you might be right. Like the NFC,
they have one of the best rosters in the NFC.
Yeah.
They have a coaching
it was
issue,
so nice.
But I don't think they do.
Oh, massive.
Does that make sense?
Issue. But my thing was like, I agree. My thing was, if the 49ers, they have so many injuries, there's no way they're going to the Super Bowl. I don't want them to win. I don't want the Eagles to win. I'm a little more scared of the Eagles in round 2. So if the 49ers can beat the Eagles, then the 49ers are going to lose no matter what before the Super Bowl. So I was like, and then they fucking pull it off, smoke them. I was like, yo, dreams do come true in the NFL.
Yeah, the Eagles, man, wasted season. They just got too much like drama going on. But that match for you or for everyone pretty much was like, because you knew the Niners didn't have enough to keep going. Eventually the Niners were just going to be outskilled by a healthy team. Like a healthy team was just going to beat the Niners. Sure. It was like when the Trailblazers beat the Nuggets before Jokic won his championship. That year where you're like, the Blazers can maybe get this done, but like we want, or like the Nuggets go on, they'll be better off. But I truly thought the Eagles could beat any of these teams in the NFC, man. It's the same, like not the exact same, but they won the Super Bowl last year, but clearly there's issues in that locker room. Those guys are not playing as hard as they could. Their coach is like, that guy needs help. Like he should be removed, but I think he's going to carry on next year.
Bro,
but then he took over for the OC
during the season and shit.
And nothing changed. Like Sirianni took over or something like that. Dude, the weapons those guys have to be like, maybe Jalen Hurts. I heard a thing that said Jalen Hurts is just Russell Wilson. And I was like, whoa. Maybe that makes sense, man. Which is kind of scary.
Man, the thing you said about fantasy twisting your brain, like I actually had a season where I was fucking with the Eagles before I came back to my senses. The year I drafted Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, and I won the money league with those two, so I watched them go crazy all season. And I was like, yo, this is so fun. And then ever since then I've just been like, Jesus Christ. Jalen Hurts is one of the most frustrating quarterbacks to watch play football. Like his whole stoic BS like drives me crazy. Like maybe show some emotion.
I prefer, I prefer some emotion. Like all the greats in the game today are guys with emotion. You got Mahomes, Burrow. I mean, Lamar is a little bit similar as well, but he's got more emotion than Hurts. I prefer that too.
Man, his interviews and shit, he keeps it real. Like after the game when you talk to him, like he's either super hyped or super bummed, you know? Yeah. Jalen Hurts is just he's not like robot.
Media trained. Yeah. So on to the next round. SF and Seattle. Seattle's starting to throw their weight around, man. When it came to this game, I think every game on that weekend, or maybe not. This was the last game of the weekend though. Buffalo, Denver was wicked. Two out of 4 games. New England was kind of shit. Yeah, Rams in that game was sick, but Seattle beat the brakes off of SF. And they did you a favor.
Yeah, that was awesome because Buffalo and 49ers lost the same day. But I've so emotionally tapped out after the Bills game. Like such a huge relief. I was barely paying. Man, I turned off.
Well, you didn't
Seattle
have to
game.
pay much.
It was like
attention
17. It was 17-3. I'm like, oh, let's go watch an episode of True Detective season 1 for the 8th time in my life. And then it came back and it was like fucking 30 or 27-3 or some shit. I was like, all right, I didn't miss anything.
Losing Kittle,
but yeah,
in the Eagles game was the end of the end, man.
Brutal.
Like,
absolutely brutal.
Last one, the Rams and the Bears. Again, an absolute classic. I thought the Bears were going to get the job done, and it was just classic Rams playing to their competition. Whatever skill level or whatever type of game the other team wanted to play, they would let them do it. But the Rams, they held on, man. And I've been hating on the Rams ever since our buddy Ravix told me they were the best team in the league, because I truly don't believe there is a best team in the league this year, if that makes sense. You know, like, anybody can win this. Like, these playoffs have been such a crapshoot. The regular season, every week the power rankings are changing. Like, I truly didn't believe that the Rams were the best, but they beat the Bears, man. I wish the Bears moved on.
I mean, it took me until basically yesterday to just finally give it up for the Seahawks, and it would be hilarious if I'm finally like, yo, they're the best team. Like, I slept on them most of the year just because I don't trust Darnold. I had Darnold in fantasy last year, and he was great for a late pick, you know, but just seeing how his season ended last year, losing the bye in the last week of the regular season, and then getting smashed in that game, and then getting smashed in the playoffs, I was like, yo, like, and then even in this regular season, there's just weeks where they couldn't put up any points. So I was just always like, nah, like, they're good, but they're not, they hadn't like separated themselves into a class of their own. But after their last 2 games, man, it's hard to fucking pick against them going into the Super Bowl, man. They look like a complete team, and if Darnold doesn't have to do too much, even though he did a fuck ton yesterday, like, just don't turn him over and they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Dude,
that's what we've learned a lot in these playoffs. Like, teams that are turning it over are just killing themselves. And it happened to the Rams, like, when the guy missed that punt, like, changed the game right there. Sam Darnold, the weapons he has right now. I mean, they lost Charbonnet, but, like, he's got 3 capable wide receivers. JSN looks like that guy's getting first down every time he gets the ball thrown to him. Special duo. Happy for Darnold that he's, landed himself a hell of a home there in Seattle. And if he manages to win this Super Bowl, that would be absolutely insane, because he was basically written off, dude. Like, last year when he went to Minnesota, Jefferson was on everyone's don't draft list because it was coming from Darnold, man. People were steering clear of Minnesotan weapons because of Sam Darnold. And then has a magical season and blows up at the end. Everyone's like, cost himself $40 million a year. He's done. He is what we thought he was. I think he was like one of the last quarterbacks free agents picked up this year when Seattle let Geno go. I remember Mina Kimes tweeted out that was the biggest mistake they could have made, that Geno was the right quarterback for that team. They'll never get anyone better. It was, bro. And now look at Darnold, man. It's awesome. Love to see this like comeback story, man. From seeing ghosts to seeing the Super Bowl is a crazy, crazy turn of events.
Yeah, no, shout out. It's funny though, just like me and you at least, I don't think there's a lot of like diehard Darnold fans that are like, I always knew, like, you know what I mean? It's just a random
Dan
fun
Orlovsky.
one. Yeah. There's a couple people that claim he's always been good. I think Mina Kimes too, but it is fun. It's hard to not, especially for all the Patriots haters out there, it's hard to not jump on the Seahawks bandwagon for this next one. Even during the game yesterday,
right?
Yeah, I was saying, like, I've loved Devontae Adams pretty much since he came into the league, so I was like, it'd be cool to see him go to the Super Bowl, but it's also cool if Darnold makes it, just because of the fucking ups and downs of his career. And then I saw a shitty stat today. Devontae Adams 0 for 5 in championship games. That's fucking brutal.
It's
being
truly
that
sad.
close to the Super Bowl 5
he was
times.
crying at the end of the game. Dude, no matter how hard you like hate a team or like cheer for another, these guys are devastated when they lose in the playoffs, man. And you just see how badly they want it, you know? Yeah, felt for Devontae for sure, man. He had himself a hell of a year. The Rams did, bro, they played great, man, for like one of the older teams in the league with Stafford and Devontae.
Yeah.
But we have ourselves a Super Bowl.
I just hate
Seattle.
Yeah.
Go on. You got one more point?
Yeah, I just hate when games are decided by dumbass shit. Like the games were still really fun, but the Stidham's fucking fumble that turned into a touchdown 2 seconds later and the muff punt return, that drives me so crazy. And I mean, that's the game of football.
Yeah.
It cocomes down to those moments, but I hate when the outcome is like, I think the Rams game would have been so much more epic had that not happened. And because then it was just like the Rams chasing the whole time, but it wasn't going back and forth, the leads. I think that would have been more fun. And I think it would have been more fun to see the Patriots really have to turn it up on offense had they gone down 10-0 and Sean Payton just kicked the fucking field goal. And no fumble.
Yeah, I think obviously you never want to see it happen on special teams, but it's such a big part of the game. But the muff punt, like you're like, that can't happen, you know? Like that just can't happen, man. Like, so to see Seattle not win like that, because I think the Rams ended up having a lead after that, right? So luckily it wasn't like the defining factor of the game. But yeah, I'm with you. But what do you do? That's the whole part of the game.
Yeah. So Super Bowl.
All right. This pick's easy for me, man. I'm going Seahawks, dude. Plant a flag. We're going with the Seahawks. I would love to see Sam Darnold win, and it would just kill me as a Bills fan to see the Patriots come back and win a Super Bowl that quickly. It would just absolutely rip the heart out of Buffalo. They will never survive devastation like that.
Bro.
It's crazy, man.
I actually, it's so twisted to me, like that I'm the one who always gets made fun of for like rooting for all these teams, but your whole football life you rooted for the Patriots, and for you to now be like, I'll be devastated if the Patriots win is so
That's
insane.
Not true. You can ask Ben
you're
Davis.
A Tom Brady fan.
Me and Ben started out as no.
Oh my god.
We started out as Chicago Bears fans. We cheered for the Chicago Bears when we first started watching. This was back when it was Jay Cutler versus Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. And then for whatever reason, we kind of stopped watching the NFL. Then to get back into it, full-on Brady supporter. Brady goes to Tampa, and I'm like, well, I don't really have any connection left in New England. I don't really I'll cheer for him while he's in Tampa, but I need a plan for after Tampa, right? So then it's Bills fans. And I'm really resonating with Bills Mafia. You know, I get them as we've been to Buffalo. We know how much the Bills mean to them. This is making sense for me. And from that day forward, I did it on the pod, declared myself Bills Mafia, and I feel all those Brady wins must have been devastating, but this one would hurt more than all the Brady wins put together. Like seeing Drake May just pop up out of fucking thin air would kill us. That's it. Seahawks.
I know, but
I think they win by 10.
Hear. Yeah. Okay. Well, quickly,
because on a yearly basis, you cheer for multiple teams. I'm picking one a year.
It's not, Donald. The thing that you get twisted and all the haters.
You
get
are
twisted,
a T-ba.
I'm not declaring that I'm part of some new fan base. I just like to have an emotional interest in the game, so I just say, okay, in this game,
in every game,
this team, and then I just get into it. That's just being a fan of the fucking league.
No, everybody does that.
It's just funny that you're like, oh, us the Bills. Meanwhile, all those years where Brady was shitting on their face, you were right there, like laughing at the Bills, just fucking. And now to be like, no,
I never
must have
laughed
hurt
at
so
the
bad
Bills,
for Bills Mafia before I was part of it. Like, it's
That's
so
true.
backwards, it's insane,
dude. Now, because you're
It's
actually
ridiculous.
a Kansas City fan and a Pittsburgh fan at the same time, and there might be more too. Those two for sure. You're an active fan of the league, but two fan bases.
The Steelers. We didn't really talk about coaches, but holy shit, are we done? Is the rundown done? Because let's just end it before I get upset with this Mike McCarthy.
Well, you have to
bullshit.
pick your Super Bowl winner.
Oh, Seahawks. Yeah.
Okay, so we're on the same
Drake
page.
May, and I know like he's had a cupcake schedule all regular season, so there's a bunch of like fraud alert like sentiment going around, and I don't think they did anything to shake that. In those 3 wins, Drake May the offense didn't have to do basically anything to win any of these games so far. So against this defense, I don't have high hopes. And I believe the Seahawks are too much of a complete team. I do like the Patriots, and they got a bright future, but I think the Seahawks take care of business.
Absolutely. Now, we meant to get on to the NFL coaching carousel, which Seifa alluded to. Tomlin's gone, McCarthy's in, and a whole lot of other news. We ran out of time this week. We will get to that next week, and we will also be introducing the PSL Minute. You know, big fans of the PSL and what they're doing over there. We can't wait for that to get sparked up. We have a fantasy league going on of our own. We suggest you guys head over to their website, get the app, get your own fantasy league going with your homies. Bummed we ran out of time, but we will be talking all things PSL all season long in the rundown, and we'll keep you guys posted on our fantasy league. Mike, Mo, y'all are doing great things, man. Super excited for you guys and can't wait to tune in.
Yeah, the app is PSL Fantasy. Get a group of skate nerds together, and you can battle each other week to week. We actually need one more for our league, but we'll figure that out. Cannot wait. Shout out Mo, Vince, Ira, everyone behind the scenes over there. I've been loving watching the YouTube like day by day, putting the park together. Deshaun Jordan, I picked you for MVP of the whole shit. Make me proud, make us proud, Bunt Gang. Let's get it. PSL, baby.
All right, that's a wrap for Ep 1. We are just getting started with Season 23. Y'all know where to find us every Monday. Every Monday and every Wednesday. Let's get it cracking, Bunt Gang.
Yeah.
I just need an hour. Don't come back down here. Get out of here. One sec. Seriously. I just have to do this and then we'll go back to playing.